Hey guys, it's Andrew from LCG guys here. Welcome to Dark Side Monday. Today we're going to profile my Sith control deck. This may look familiar to you guys who have visited Team Covenant. It was on their website. I decided to build it as my first deck and give it a try. And this deck is extremely powerful. So we're going to start off here with the objective deck. So we're playing 1 Council of the Sith. So what this card does for the deck is it allows you to draw a card at the beginning of your opponent's turn, which extra cards is always great. Going on to extra cards, we have 2 Fall of the Jedi. So what this allows you to do is draw extra cards basically during your turn. It puts a card from your hand to the bottom of your deck during your draw, at the start of your draw phase. The only unfortunate part about this is not a May ability. You have to put a card down there. But the upside is if you have some poopy cards in your hand, you can always put them on the bottom. Next we have 2 The Emperor's Web. This allows all your events to cost 1 less for the first time you play an event, a Sith event, that turn, which will allow your 1 costing events to cost 0 if you played them for the first time. And it helps with the higher cost ones if you're short on resources. Next we have Reconnaissance Mission. This has to be my second favorite objective in this deck. The fact that it allows you to increase your starting reserve by 1, putting it up to 7. That's instant advantage over your opponent, allowing you to have more cards in hand than they do. It's a very good thing that's it's limited to 1 per objective deck. Now getting into the ones that make more than 1 resource, we have 2 Shadows. It's just a vanilla objective, 5 health, but it allows you to have 2 resources. I would say this is probably, ironically, the heart of this deck. We have 2, the Heart of the Empire. When I first looked at this card, I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that if it was destroyed, you lose the game. But I started playing with it, and my opinion changed right away. It's a 10 health and allows 3 resources. Alright, so let's get on to the units, starting with the 2 costing stuff. We have 1 Advisor of the Emperor. This is pretty much just a vanilla dude that allows you to ramp up with an extra resource. Then we have 2 Dark Side Apprentices. He's a pretty good attacker. 2 costing, 2 health, 1 blaster, and if you happen to win the edge battle, also deals damage to an objective. 2 Emperor's Royal Guard. 2 costing, 3 health guy that has protect character. Now, what's good about this card, it allows you to keep your main big dudes safe by putting damage on these instead of them. Then we have 3 security teams, 2 cost, 2 health, 1 blaster. I love attacking with this guy because not many people block it. It's it's just a vanilla dude that just helps get towards your goal, kind of. Now onto the 3s. We have 2 human replica droids. This may only have 1 health and only have abilities when you win the edge battle, but the fact that you can surprise your opponent by placing this after you win the edge battle engaged in the battle is awesome. So if I have a security team and I attack and it's unblocked, which it usually is, I can play this from my hand. Sorry, I put this into play from my hand. And now, instead of dealing 2 damage to an objective, I'm dealing 4, sorry, because of unopposed. Continuing with the 3s, we have 4 Night Sisters. This card is extremely powerful. Surface-wise, it may not look like it, being a 3 cost with only one health, but this is the card in this deck that you are more than likely committing to the Force. The fact that it gets a free damage into an objective when you commit it to the Force is extremely powerful. Moving on to the 4, we have 2 Rancors. I'm still on the fence about this card. I've seen people play this card completely wrong. If your opponent is playing vehicle units, like a lot of them, you don't want to play anything lower than 4 on your field. I've seen people continuously playing 2s and 3s while their opponent only has vehicles, and they just have to destroy their own stuff. 2 Curzon Defense Fleets. This card is to protect this card. It has Protect Curzons, so this is the only thing in the deck that has Curzon on it that matters. Having one of these out soaks up 5 damage from your Heart of the Empire. And it may not be able to attack even with all those blasters, but it's a very good blocking dude, because you can let them go through on your Heart of the Empire and then just soak up the damage. 2 Vaders. This is arguably the best card in the game right now. The fact that after you play a Sith event, you can deal 1 damage to something, even if it's limited to once per turn, is extremely powerful. There's been multiple games where I've just sat on a Vader and then just picked off my opponent's guys by playing events. It's extremely powerful combined with Force Choke, allowing you to do 2 damage to something. So if they have a 2 health guy, you can do 2 damage to it. If they have a bunch of 1 health guys, you can just pick them off. And then moving on to 6, we have 2 Emperors. To me, this card only seems really good if you're ahead. So that being said, this is, to me, a win more card. The point of this deck is to control your opponent's board so they're not able to destroy your objectives. But with this card, it just seems like, so I'm already controlling your board, and now I'm attacking your objectives. I'm going to play this, destroying your objectives and getting events back. It's just, to me, it's just win more. Now we're going to go into the events. For 0 costing, we have 1 Dark Precognition. Allows you to draw 2 cards and discard 1. Replaces cards in your hand. Helps you dig a little deeper. I don't think you need more than 1. Continuing on with the 0s, we have 4 Force Chokes. Probably the best event in this deck. Like I said before, combined with Darth Vader, this card is a force to be reckoned with. You may be only doing 1 damage, but it's just, it helps pick off a lot of the light side's weak guys, which they do have a lot of. Going on to 1s, we have 2 Force Stasis. This is both an offensive and defensive card. Most of the time you're going to be using it defensively, making their guys not be able to attack. Like their big guys, like Home 1 and all those, not be able to attack. And again, combined with Darth Vader, this thing picks off something as well. And with Emperor's Web, it costs 0. Going on to 2s, we have 2, a Disturbance in the Force. After all my games, I have not played this card yet. The opportunity hasn't really come up when this card's been in my hand. But it allows you to put a focus token on each enemy that is committed to the Force. I think this is also a win more card in this deck because you're controlling their board and making them not have a lot of guys on. So it's just, to me, it's a win more in this deck. Force Lightning, it helps deal with big problems. Like if they attack with a home 1, you can just kill it. Extremely powerful. And then rounding it out, we have 2, There Is No Escape. You have no guys on board, they have a whole bunch for some reason. You can play this, reset the board. It's awesome. Moving on to enhancements. We have 2, Vader's Lightsaber. Just because Vader wasn't good enough, we're going to give him Targeted Strike as well. It's, yeah, make Vader extremely powerful, even though he is. 2, the Hand's Blessing. The only person I am playing this on is Night Sister. Because she's not elite, and you're committing her to the Force, it kind of slows her down a little bit, where this will help remove all those focus tokens. And then lastly, we have 5, Sith Library. Just ramp, help you speed up more big guys coming out, allow you to play more things. So on to Fate, we have 1, Target of Opportunity. If you're being aggressive, this card can help push in a little more damage towards objectives. Heart of Battle, allowing you to deal damage to things, picking off 1 health guys. It's great. And the best Fate card, Twist of Fate. I've noticed the more you play this card, you can bluff your opponent into thinking that you're playing the card. It's really simple. You just play this face down, pass. They play something, brings back to you. You just pass. They keep playing stuff, and then you end up flipping this. It wastes a whole bunch of cards out of their hand, and then that allows you to set up later, because you're only running 2, to be able to set things, or place cards face down during the edge battle. Your opponent thinking it's a Twist of Fate, so they're only going to play 1 or pass, which allows you to sneak in, winning a whole bunch of edge battles. So overall, this deck is extremely powerful. It's really good and efficient at doing what it's supposed to do, and that is help you get to your goal by getting the Death Star dial up. The ability it has to control the board so easily is a really big problem for a lot of light side decks. We built a bunch of light side decks to try and beat this deck. We think we're close. We have a couple decks right now that seem like a even matchup. Most of the games we play are 50-50, which is good, but we want to get that percentage higher because this deck is extremely powerful. Like I said, the tools it has to be able to control the board and then just push in on your objectives while you have no guys in play. I think the most objectives I've gained from this deck before the Death Star dial completed was 4. So yeah, so this is first episode of Dark Side Monday. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. If you haven't tried this deck out already, I suggest you do. It's, like I said, this deck is OP. I don't think there's a Dark Side deck right now that compares to power level as this one does, or does what it's supposed to do as easy as this one. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for Wednesday's video, which will be gameplay. Probably this deck versus Justin's Lightside deck from Lightside Friday, and we'll see how it does. Alright guys, this is Andrew signing out from LCG guys. Remember, keep those card games living.